They've put aside 16 years of absolute commitment to our child and have taken away our child based on the lie that a person can be born in the wrong body.
This is absolutely heartbreaking. This is the story of parents in Switzerland who lost their child, had their child taken away from them because they didn't want to affirm the child's new gender. You guys think that we're mucking about, talking about stuff that doesn't matter when we talk about what is a woman and all of this stuff, but this is the consequences of this harmful ideology, is parents being stripped of custody of their own children. Just take a listen to this heartbreaking story.
We want our daughter back home.
The story is truly a nightmare. Swiss authorities have taken our child, our daughter, who's 16 years old. We, as parents, are facing an alliance between the school, the Swiss Child Protection Agency, the Swiss hospital in Geneva, and we feel powerless. About 3 years ago, coming out of the pandemic, our daughter informed us that she was a boy. We understood that she was going through a difficult period in her life. We agreed to seek medical advice. When we first went to the Geneva hospital, the nurse showed her a gender unicorn, and it was based on this gender unicorn that we were instructed by the hospital to begin treating her as a boy. We were told she needed puberty blockers. The school got involved. Everyone at the school, the teachers, the administrators, started to call our daughter a male name. We were very clear with the school that we did not believe that it was up to the school to socially transition our daughter.
This is scary stuff.
We
This is a
learned that
dangerous
this school
ideology.
psychologist was getting in and was feeding my daughter with materials, putting her in contact with Le Refuge.
Le Refuge is a transgender advocacy organization and has taken our daughter down the path of believing that she's a boy in a girl's body. Eventually, the Swiss Child Protection Agency, with the school's support, brought a case against us in the Swiss court system. And that has meant for us many sleepless nights, a lot of deep pain, and a sense of hopelessness.
Parents should not have to go through this. This is just... I'm lost for words. It's scary.
A school, a trans activist organization, and a public hospital, together with the child welfare agencies of the canton of Geneva, have socially transitioned a child against the advice of medical professionals and also against the express will of the parents.
Of course, the parents have more than one word to say concerning very important decisions with a potential impact on the whole life of their child.
No human being is born in the wrong body. Taking an adolescent, telling him or her that he or she is born in the wrong body is cruel.
It is.
We want our daughter back home. Just we love her and we miss her. My son, he feels his sister is missing. He has written several letters, but we haven't heard back from her.
So it's really out of this pain and this desperation that we have decided there's really no other option but to speak up. The Swiss government essentially took our daughter away from us. Our daughter now lives in a government home. Our access to her is regulated by the Swiss government.
Why can't parents be trusted to just bring up their own kids? I feel like when you send your kids to school now, you just lose the ability to bring them up. The school and the government will decide now what values are instilled in your children. This is just so monumentally fucked up.
We don't want to see other families in this situation. There's no one else beyond parents who will ever bring and cultivate the love that the children need to be the best they can be, to go on and not only fulfill their dreams, but to create their own families in the future.
Oh, I'm heartbroken by that. That is just absolutely horrifying to, as parents, have your own child taken away from you because the government is trying to force that child down a path that you believe is detrimental to them. This is clearly, they said the child was going through a difficult time, as many children were during lockdown, and they took the child for medical advice with the hope to solve those issues, and they just had their child taken away from them and put through transitioning, and now they can barely see their daughter. The government is in charge of their daughter. They're just fighting for their daughter back. And when they said they were writing letters but they haven't been able to hear back, that is really horrible. And now it sounds like these parents are potentially going to end up with criminal charges and God knows maybe even in prison for just saying that their daughter is a girl and should remain a girl. This is so horrifying, and this is a stark warning, should be a stark warning for us, for what's going to happen more and more often if we don't do something about this, if we don't do something to fight this scary ideology. I talk about this scary ideology a lot because I think that what it can do is really, really scary. When I heard that in California they were considering taking custody away, taking parents' custody away from their children if they didn't affirm their gender, I was like, no, this cannot happen. That is as monumentally fucked up as can be. And now seeing that this has actually happened, custody being taken away, being forced to hand over the legal documents for your child so that they can start legally transitioning that child from a girl to a boy, and knowing that the government might, just medically transition your daughter, chop off her breasts and whatever else, while she's still a child and not really old enough to make that decision for herself. She might then go on to regret that much later in life. She might go on to want to have a family, but devastatingly not be able to ever have a family if they go through the medical transition process. And this family, there's nothing that they can do. They've got the help of lawyers here, clearly, but when you are faced with the power of the government, of the schools, of the hospitals, all put together, as they say, they feel powerless, and this is horrible. And I really hope that this story will spread far and wide so that these parents get a voice online, and the government will feel the pressure to give that daughter back to that family. I pray that happens. That family, they need their daughter back before it's too late and before their daughter is medically transitioned. So please share this video around, share it on your social media platforms, share it with your friends, let this family get the coverage that they deserve. And also, we need to show people what is going to happen if we don't stop this gender ideology in its tracks. I'm pretty worried about the plans that the Labour Party have for this scary ideology, and they've got a huge majority in the House of Commons now with which they could push through some pretty scary stuff. So we need to rise up, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to stop this. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Make sure you are subscribed to the Reason channel and you press the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. I will see you tomorrow.